Merch Minds Podcast, episode 138. I'm
Okay.
Glen, this is Yong, and it's been a while. It's been about a month, a little bit more than a month.
It's been more than a month, man.
It's been a little bit more than a month. Things are going on.
Maybe a
California
couple of
wildfires,
months. Maybe a couple of
49ers.
months. What? Who? What?
I'm saying
We're going all over the place here. Come on. What?
How many things have changed since then?
A lot of things have changed. Let's see. Yeah, the 49ers are 7-0. How are the Dolphins doing?
We're preparing for next year.
You guys are pretty much drowning in the water.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yes,
okay.
We are. It's part of the plan. We're tanking for Tua.
You know what? That happens to the best of them. So, but yeah, man. So look, it's been 2 months, maybe even a tad bit longer.
No. The last episode was 137. September 16th. September 16th.
The last yeah, but I was still on jury duty. I haven't talked to you in like literally 2 months. Right?
But there still shows out there.
So basically, I'm sure many of you know I've been on jury duty for close to 2 months, maybe 7 weeks to be exact. And then I know last week we took last week off. You were sick. Look, I'm not going to say this anymore. You need to quit making that with Hustlebee.
This one sucked going out of town, and then I was supposed to go out of town again. And my dad had to cancel. He got allergies out of control, so yeah, it was bad. I'm still not even 100%, but I'm getting there.
Okay. But yeah, so last week you were sick. I did do a live in the Merch Minds Facebook group, and I talked about the case that I was on, and I'll talk about that today as well. And when I I was gonna extract the audio from last week's Facebook Live, and I was gonna upload it as a episode of the podcast. I'm not gonna lie, man, I just got overwhelmed at work. So last week was my official first week back at work at my day job, and things just got, again, I was gone for almost 2 months.
Yeah.
So it was just really, when I reported back to my day job, oh my gosh, man. I mean, I'm still kind of in over my head right now. Just playing catch up. So, so I'm sure people just want to know, what was the case about? I'm sure you're probably wondering, what was the case about? People probably are wondering, like, oh, Yong and Glen probably talk all the time. You have no clue, right? You have no clue.
I have no clue what the case is.
So this is the first time that you're actually hearing about it, and it's the same thing. I'm going to say the same thing that I said last week during the live. I'm going to just talk about mainly my experience as a juror, because, at the end of the day, it's just for my own personal safety, right? So I'm just going to kind of talk. I mean, I can talk about the crime in general. The judge did give us the thumbs up to talk about it. But again, I mean, it's just something that I don't really want to put out there, and link it to my name. But it was a double homicide, and attempted murder. Okay. Have you ever served on a jury duty, Glen?
Never.
Never. Have you ever been summoned?
I mean, everything has been excused, so I've
never... So you never been actually through the whole process of being interviewed and everything?
No.
Okay. Yeah. So I like you in the past, I've been summoned, and I've always been dismissed. Obviously, this particular time around, I was selected. I was originally selected as an alternate.
Okay.
And one of the jurors, she apparently had some kind of an emotional breakdown, because, again, it was a very serious case, right? It was one of those cases that pretty much had everything. Obviously it had the murders, there was gang affiliation, we had the ballistics expert come in, we had the DNA expert come in, we had the coroner come in, so it had everything, man.
Yeah.
So it was stressful, but one of the jurors had like an emotional meltdown, and so they selected my name out of the alternates, so I had to replace her. And originally I wasn't upset, but I was like, oh man, I'm not a regular juror, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it makes sense to serve as a regular juror because when you deliberate as an alternate, you don't have you can't they have no say a word, they have no opinion,
Mm-hmm.
right? If I'm going to attend the trial every single day, at least I have the voice during deliberation. Does that
Mm-hmm.
make sense?
Mm-hmm.
The alternates have no say. So it makes sense that I was selected as a regular juror. But again, so it was a double homicide, attempted murder. The verdict was guilty. Um, it was not a death penalty case. The
Okay.
judge, the judge did make that clear from the very beginning, and um, I don't even know what the sentencing is. It was just after the verdict, the judge dismissed us, and so I would love to know at some point what the sentence is. I'm assuming he'll probably spend the rest of his time in jail. Um, and but yeah, so that was, I mean, even the selection process itself took 2 weeks. Think about that,
Yeah, that's wild.
right? Yeah. So it was really intense. It was emotional. But I'm not gonna lie, it was a very good experience. I said this last week during the live where the judge, she was very respectful. She was accommodating towards the jurors, and um, not even towards us, even to the defendant. She was very respectful. Here's the thing: it's nothing like TV, right? There's that famous scene with Tom Cruise, right? And Jack, was it Jack Nicholson? Jack
Yeah.
Nicholas? I can't remember his name. I want the truth. You can't handle the truth, right? There's nothing like that, right? There's
Oh
no
man.
yelling and screaming. The judge doesn't even have a gavel, right? Everyone's respectful and whatnot. So,
That's what I was hoping for.
that's all Hollywood, man. That's all Hollywood.
Man.
It doesn't happen like that. But yeah, so uh, so my last, what, 6 7 weeks was spent at the Santa Clara County courthouse, and
So it's from
but
like
I'm
8 to 5 or
9 to 5.
okay.
Mondays we normally didn't report unless the judge told us to. But I'm sorry, did I say Monday? Fridays.
Fridays.
Fridays we normally didn't report. So it was normally Monday through Thursday from 9 to 5, and it is again. You said you have not ever served, but it is one of the most mentally challenging things I've ever experienced because, granted, this was not a death penalty case, but this is a case where someone's going to spend the rest of his time in jail, right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And regardless of whether you think he's guilty or not, you have to give him the benefit of the doubt and listen to all the evidence, right? So you
Innocent until
have so
proven
you have to
guilty.
so you have to be focused and attentive the whole time, right? So
Yeah.
it is one of the most mentally challenging things that I've ever been through, man. It was, I mean, there were times when I would come home and my brain just feels fried. I come home and you know me, Glenn, I would go to bed like at 8 9 p.m., which is extremely early for me, right? And I was the very first week of the trial. I remember I was talking to one of the fellow jurors, and she goes, "Oh my gosh, I felt so drunk last week." I'm like, "It's because you're just, it's just information overload, right?"
Yeah.
And but yeah, it was, oh my gosh, it was just a lot of information, man. Just granted, the judge did give us a lot of breaks, but it was just, man, you have to be attentive. Yeah, and she gave us the permission to write notes in this particular case. We couldn't keep the notes at the end of the trial. That was something that the court took, and they destroyed all the notes that we took. But man, it was it was something else, man. It was, like I said, uh, if you, I think everyone should at least serve on jury duty at least once, man. I think most people always complain and bitch about having to serve, and it's just why, man? Why? It's part of our civic duty to serve.
Yeah, it's part of your civic duty. I feel like you're perfect for jury duty. They should just throw you in every main trial.
Dude, I should be a full-time juror.
It's like he loves talking. He gets to also
I should be a
network and
full-time
figure
juror.
things out. Yeah, just throw you in there all the time.
But no, it was very challenging, man. It was a good experience. What's been going on with you though? Well, first of all, do you have any questions?
I mean, I don't really know what you can really talk about on the trial. I mean, I think you've said only the
Well,
things
everything is
you've
public
done.
record, right? Everything is public record, but I don't want to mention any names. I don't want to mention the name of the defendant again because it's just for my own personal protection.
Yeah, yeah. No, it
Right.
makes total sense.
But everything is public record. But do you have any questions?
Not really any like jury slash. It's just weird. Like I don't know what I would even ask.
It's just weird.
It just yeah. Like I think they call you in. I know my wife had served, and it was.
Oh, did she serve?
She has served. I think that one was like 2 weeks long. And I forgot what it was about. I mean, nothing to do with like attempted murder, stuff like that. But I think it was I think it was like a big money type of thing to where someone stole money or something like that. And she was on there for a good while. And then she got called, I think, last month, and then it got canceled. So I was like, they might have you go again because I've never gone. It's always gotten canceled. But since she's already been on one,
I think it's every 5 years, right? And they go by your DMV record. So I think it's every 5 years. Like I said, I've been summoned in the past, and I can tell you exactly what those cases were. The first one was it was a DUI, but again, I was dismissed for that particular case. The second one was for prostitution. Again, I was dismissed for that one, and for this particular one, they wanted me. And here's the thing: look, I'll make a point of being pretty transparent about almost everything, even my personal life. And I kid you not, man. I thought I would get dismissed, and the reason being was because my uncle was murdered about 20 years ago.
Oh, okay.
And considering that, I thought I would get dismissed, but for whatever reason, they wanted me on that particular jury duty, and so I was selected.
I'm sorry to hear about that with your uncle.
Yeah, no, that, like I said, that was 20 years ago. I wasn't very close to him, so it's not like, and I hate saying this, when he did die, I wasn't very emotional. In fact, I think at the time I was in Las Vegas. In fact, I know for a fact I was in Las Vegas because I remember my mom calling me, and I remember her telling me the news, and again, it's, I mean, up until then, I hadn't seen him in like 15 years. I never really had a relationship with him. Yeah, I was, it was sad and I was upset, but I wasn't very emotional. But again, based on that, I thought I would get dismissed, but they were like, "No, we want him. We want him on this. We want him on jury duty. Yeah,
lock him in.
Lock him in." So, yeah. So that's where I've been, man. And that's pretty much what I've been doing. And as far as merch and Etsy, I wasn't doing anything the last 2 months.
And your job, which what did they do with your job? Like, did they obviously someone else had to take on your
my boss,
very few responsibilities, but
come on now, why would you say that?
All right, go ahead.
But my boss, obviously, she filled in, but yeah, no, I hadn't gone to work in almost 2 months. I wasn't uploading because one of the things that they actually say is, they say don't do any research. Don't do any research. And my thing is, if I'm logging into a computer, oh man, I'll be fucking tempted. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, granted, I have my iPhone, but man, if I was to log onto a computer, I'd be so tempted. So I try to make a point of not turning on my computer uploading any of that. I just didn't want to do it. I just I would check my emails on my iPhone, and that was about it.
Okay.
I didn't want to go on the computer again, because I would be super tempted to look up all the information that I can find about the case.
Did it feel good to take a little break from work?
I'm
Did you
not
feel
gonna lie.
refreshed going back?
I'm not gonna lie, man. Look, it was, I did enjoy my time serving. Again, it was mentally draining. It was a good experience, man. It was a good experience. I'm glad I was able to get that out of my system. I know what it's like now. And but I would say, look, everyone should just serve at least once in your life. Um, but the most tense moment, man, was when they read the verdict. That was, oh my gosh, you talk about intense. And afterwards, I was talking to the other jurors, and they were asking me. Well, we were all talking amongst each other, and one of the questions that came up was, "Did you guys look at the defendant when the verdict was read?" And no, everyone said no. I did. I looked at him because I wanted to see if there was any reaction from him,
Yeah.
and nothing. So, um, but yeah, so it was quite an experience. So, what have you been up to?
So last how long did we say? A month, 2 months?
Almost 2 months, man.
Yeah. So obviously with YouTube, I've been pushing out more content, better content, and figuring things out. This is my first like full-time year not working with the family business. So with YouTube and full-time reselling, getting all that, and then I feel like I figured out quite a bit of things on how or why YouTube pushes certain things, and feel more confident in that. And so YouTube did well, and it was doing well. And then Chris Green also posted it on the merch on his. I don't know if he froze. Did we freeze? Oh, there we
Yeah,
go. I think we froze a little.
we
Okay.
did freeze for a second, but
Okay.
you're back.
Okay, we're back. And he posted in his group, and I was like, he posted on there that it was catching fire, like, oh, his channel's catching fire and stuff. And I was like, yeah, it's kind of growing, it's getting there. But then it had like a
Wait, hold on,
video.
hold on. I didn't mean to stop you. He posted that your channel was catching fire, or
Yeah,
his?
yeah. No, my channel. He
Oh, okay.
posted it on his group, yeah, like, oh, go check it out or whatever.
I
Even though
got
it
you.
didn't have much merch stuff on there anymore since
Hmm.
we took off the merch content I had. And so I had a video hit like 300,000 views, and had another video hit almost like 500,000 views, and then the subs have gone up and everything. So I'm pretty happy about it. I think I'm more confident about building it. I'm almost at 100,000 now.
Where you at now, currently?
I'm at like 91 or something. So
Damn, son.
yeah, so it's been doing well, and I've been working on it a lot more now than I usually have. So that, and then reselling as usual with eBay and FBA and some of the other sneaker apps. So that's my main thing.
And that's been going good.
Yeah, so those have been doing good. Same thing, consistent. Now it's going to be November, so it's kind of like Q4 time, preparing for all of that. Inventory there, and then I have some Jordans that are coming out in December, some Jordan 11s that I have pre-ordered. So those I have coming in, and also just getting ready for next year, really, I guess, with everything combined. So
Like what? Like what are you planning on doing next year?
so I have some other Jordans that I've been pre-ordering. There's some Jordan 13s coming out, some Jordan 5s coming out. I'm trying to get to where, I have consistently every month, like shoes coming in without me sourcing or anything like that, that I could make, really good money from that, and then make money from my content. And my content's about sourcing anyway. So of course, selling those items. So just trying to get like money locked in every month.
Good.
Just
Good.
being smart about it. So
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, it's just a lot. It seems like, to me, it seems like it's been forever. But again, it's only been, what, 2 months? And a lot has changed. A lot has changed. I mean, even the merch community has changed. And get this, dude, working at my day job for 15 years. 15 freaking years, right? All of a sudden, after jury duty, I go back. They put in a new magnet card reader outside the building.
And now you can't get in.
I was like, what is this? What is this? In the last 15 years, they never bothered to do this. And then for the 2 months that I'm gone, they decided to add in this new card reader. I'm like, what the heck?
New building, new
Oh my
offices.
gosh. But yeah, no, a lot has changed. I mean, even the community has changed. There's been a lot of notifications by merch by Amazon. They're now shipping internationally, all kinds of crazy news, right? So a lot has changed, even in the merch community. But yeah, man. So like I said, I have not been uploading. I just recently started to upload, so hopefully I can get back on track with that.
Did your designers work on anything during this time? Or?
Nothing. No one designed anything for me. Like I said, I didn't want to log on to the computer. No one did any designs. I didn't do any uploads. I didn't do anything with my accounts. And then Etsy was still orders on my Etsy store were still getting fulfilled.
Mm-hmm.
Because I got that integration going, and so that was still in place. But as far as uploading and getting on my computer, I just, like I said, I didn't want to bother with any of that. But yeah, man. So I'm almost back to normal. I am starting to upload again, and I contacted a couple of my designers and gave them work already, so they're starting to knock out some designs for me. So things are getting back to normal, and like you said, it is Q4. My other side hustles outside of print on demand, some people know that I do resell.
Mm-hmm.
eBay's been picking up. Local sales has been on fire for me. Oh my gosh, for whatever reason, local sales, when I say local sales, I'm talking Craigslist and Facebook Marketplace. I've been selling a bunch on those platforms, but so they've been doing really good. But so today we're gonna cut it short. We're gonna cut this show. Like I said, this is our first time back, but we do have an announcement. Glenn, what is the announcement?
So we talked today as far as like catching up with the podcast, and I was telling Young, this is exactly what I told him. I was like, look, doing the podcast, I don't feel like I'm giving that value that I once did because of not being as active in, let's say, print on demand, which is Etsy and merch. And so I just don't want to be that type of person that's like, oh yeah, do this or do that, or try to give advice to help someone out if I'm not actively doing it. And we talked in the last podcasts, maybe like 4 or 5 ago, you had asked me like, you plan on getting back into it? Are you excited about merch? Do you still want to do things like that? And I was kind of like off and on, like maybe I'll try to get back into it. We'll see. I'm kind of doing this. And then during this full break, it's like what I really found out was like having to really focus on one thing, which is, and even going forward into like reselling other items, I'm like, I don't want to mess with all of these different factors. I really just want to zone in on one thing. And by doing that, that's how I found the results with like growing the channel. I mean, the channel making more money than what I was making in merch in my prime in merch is saying a lot. Like I'm happy where it's at. I got to keep it going, but I also have to do better and find out how to keep the channel, just growing in general, because it's been doing well right now, but like, just like anything else, like platforms go up and down and things change and everything. So I got to keep up with it, like I would at anything else. So from going forward, I'm going to stop in once in a while, but I'm no longer going to be doing the podcast with Yang. Yang's going to continue doing the podcast.
What are you talking about? Are you quitting the show?
Don't act like we haven't talked about this. And then
I thought the announcement was that we were going to do a holiday special this year.
Yeah, we're going to do a holiday special for Christmas. Jesus' album,
No,
Kanye.
man, you know what? It makes sense, right? It totally makes sense. And look, I'm not gonna lie. It is look, the podcast has been going on for 3 years strong, right?
Which is, I didn't even know it was that long.
3 years strong. Think about that. I mean, yeah, granted, there's been times we missed a week or two, and well, for this last 2 months, we missed the whole freaking last 2 months. But still, it's been 3 years, and sometimes good things come to an end. There's no beef or animosity between me and Glenn. In fact, like he said, we did talk earlier today, and it just makes sense. It's the right thing to do, right? He's no
Yeah,
longer doing merch or print on demand. He was never on Etsy, so it's like, I mean, how much value can he provide if he's not really doing it himself, right?
yeah,
It's like me, I don't know, me trying to give advice on on how to I don't know, build build a car. I don't know a damn thing about building a car, right?
I guess it would be like if you randomly came out with like, um, I don't know, like if you were reselling on something before, and then all of a sudden you're gonna do like a full eBay thing that you've not really been on it, and then you're kind of like slowly here and there. For me, I mean, I was on merch strong, but then I was getting into the other stuff. It's kind of like, how can I really help you if I'm not consistent on it currently? Now, in
Right.
the past, sure, I was building it up and made six figures doing it, but not
Hmm.
now. Now,
Yeah.
would it make sense if I was doing like YouTube type of, if I could help people do YouTube stuff? Sure, I'm doing that now, and the things that I've learned from it, but not merch
Hmm.
at this
Yeah.
current
No,
stage. So,
absolutely. And it makes, like I said, it just makes total sense. And again, I mean, do you have any do you think you will get back into merch at some point?
I can't say that I won't, that I will, or ever I won't, because same
Because you
thing with,
still have your account, right?
yeah, I still have my account. I'm still getting checks. I think my last check was like $600 or something.
Hmm.
And so, same thing with FBA, because I stopped FBA when merch came. I went all in on merch, and then, I got the money. I made really good money from that. And then I went kind of back to FBA, and then merch was kind of like down, and then this went up, and then YouTube. So it's kind of like, I can never say that I'll never do it again,
Mm.
because platforms do change, and
Yep.
who
I
knows
mean,
what, like.
yeah, and also Glenn was, and it's not me trying to put him in the spot, but you got frustrated with all the changes that Amazon kept implementing, right?
Yeah, I mean, I got
And
frustrated.
and you know what? I'm not gonna lie. The last couple of weeks, I was getting freaking pissed with Amazon. Dude, there was a couple of times I just wanted to freaking kick my monitor over because they kept making changes, man. And the last couple, I don't know if you heard about this one, but the last big thing was they were rejecting uploads for single word trademarks,
Mm,
right? So like if if I had the word cat, in
yeah.
my title or description or bullet points, um and it was trademark, Amazon was rejecting it.
Mm.
And people were freaking livid, dude. And I'm not gonna lie, man. I felt exactly what you were feeling, man. Dude, I was in the back end, talking with other members of the community, just bitching about the whole platform. And it's and I've said this in the past. I have a love-hate relationship with Merch by Amazon. I'll continue to do it,
Yeah.
but at the end of the day, man, it is so frustrating, right?
I
And
mean, if I was to do it, I would really want to like go all in to figure out how to, like, it's not the same game either way. Like if I was gonna half-ass do it now, there's no results that are going to change. Like you'd have to really think about it because of how things change in general with platforms like eBay and Amazon and FBA. Nothing's going to be the same forever, but you
well,
have to
eBay has
continually
changed.
be on
Yeah,
top of it.
yeah, eBay has changed dramatically. And trust me, I know because I've been on eBay since, gosh, I want to say 97 or 98.
Yeah.
So it's, yeah. I mean, platforms continue to change. So what does that mean for the podcast? I will continue doing the podcast. I will continue having guests. And Glenn, seriously, I do want you to come back occasionally and just
Oh yeah, for
um,
sure.
fill us in with what's going on in your life. And we have some projects that Glenn and I are working on. We might do a sourcing trip or two next year sometime. Because again, I do resell. Uh, so we might do something like that next year. And if we do, maybe we can do a meetup. Um,
Yeah, for sure.
yeah.
And I
And
think once certain guests too that you bring on board that I don't know, because the guests that we've had aren't necessarily like have something to do with print on demand, but they're doing so many other things as well.
yeah,
So it's like whatever guests we bring on, past guests, we could be all three of us or whatever. So who knows what's gonna happen? But
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, absolutely, man. But yeah, guys, this isn't the end. Glenn's still gonna be around. If you have questions, that's not related to merch by Amazon or print on demand, feel free to reach out to him. I mean, he's always, at least in my opinion, he's always around. He's good about responding, and that's one thing I have to apologize. The last 2 months, man, I've been again because I've been really bad about logging into my computer.
yeah,
Dude, I had tons of messages from people, and I felt like I was ignoring them. It's not that I was ignoring you; I just wasn't logging into my computer. But yeah. So it's not the end. Glenn's around. I'm around. The podcast is going to continue. Um, but yeah, next week we'll be back on schedule to have a normal show. I'll talk my numbers. I'll have a guest, maybe two or three or four, who knows, right? But the show's gonna go on, man.
yeah.
But cool, man. So what are your plans for the holidays?
Plans for the holidays? I don't know. Even me and the wife haven't even talked about that yet.
No.
So no. And then now that I got sick from the last time going out of town, I really don't feel like going anywhere. So I think I'm just gonna like chill, lay low, and I don't know, figure things out for now.
What's up with your dogs? How they doing?
Dogs are
Bigger?
good. Yeah, they're definitely getting bigger. We got the pug. He got like a Wolverine costume, so he's gonna be Wolverine for
Oh gosh,
Halloween.
you're one of those people, huh? That,
Yeah,
that dresses up your pets as
yeah.
in costumes.
And then the white dog Gizmo, he's gonna be Spider-Man. So
Good God.
yeah, Spider-Man.
Uh,
Wolverine.
Look, that's dog abuse. Okay, you don't do that.
Oh man,
Anyway, look, man. In all seriousness, it's been a great run. It's been a great 3 years. Again, he's gonna be around.
it didn't even feel like 3 years. It felt like quick. I didn't even think.
It goes by fast, right? Especially when you don't really keep track.
Yeah, it was like 138 episodes, but I was like,
Oh gosh,
yeah, just super quick.
yeah.
3 years. Wait, how long have I known
We met
you? Like
probably in
80?
2014, maybe 15.
No, that's only like 4 years. I've known you way longer than we started the podcast.
Oh yeah, okay. Well then maybe
Uh,
2013.
yeah, maybe around there.
Who knows? Look, I've known you for a while, man. We've been good friends. We're gonna continue to be friends.
Yes, sir.
I'll still do my trash talking.
I know you will.
I'm still gonna send you text messages whenever the Dolphins lose. You're not gonna get rid of me that easily.
Oh man,
But hey,
that's what I knew was gonna happen.
huh?
That's what I knew was gonna happen. And you can send me photos. This guy's finding jerseys out here.
Dude, you want to tell them the story, man? I got all excited.
Oh, I know. So you found a Jordan jersey. Where'd you find it?
At the Goodwill, I found a
Okay.
jersey, a Michael Jordan jersey, the pinstripe. It
Yeah,
was a
blue and
Mitchell and
white.
Ness.
Yeah.
I got all excited, and obviously, I'm not the expert when it comes to stuff like that. So I texted Glenn. I was like, "Yo, man, I think I found something for eBay," and I sent Glenn a bunch of pictures, and he goes, "Yo, man, that's fake." I'm like, ah,
Oh
so
man.
frustrating.
Yeah, I had to let him know. But hey, at least you got it authenticated. You don't have to
Yeah,
worry about it now.
that's true. So, all right, my man. It's been a pleasure, and again, come back on the show. We'll have you back soon.
Yes, sir. We'll see you.